Welcome, welcome, welcome. How you guys doing? Okay, guys, get me situated here so I can give you guys some information that I think will help some of you. It should help all of you, but some of you are probably in a place where maybe things aren't moving along like you want them to. We have setbacks. A lot of times, a lot of things will cause your fitness goals or your fitness plans to slow up. Sometimes you plateau. So I wanted to get into that a little bit today. I wanted to talk about some of the problems that people have. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've trained hundreds of women over the last 30 years, and no two people are the same. So I kind of wanted to go over that a little bit today. So if you are frustrated or anything's going on like that, this might help you. Okay. We're going to talk about the weight loss process, mastering the steps to lasting weight loss. When I first started working out, I remember, I was 20 years old. I was in the gym, didn't know what I was doing. I would read the equipment and I would try it. And it was two buddies of mine. We just joined the Air Force. We're in San Antonio, Texas. I don't know. One of them came to me. I had just met these guys, and the guy's like, "Hey, you want to lift weights?" I was like, "Okay." So I had no idea what I was doing. I was a baseball player, just to let you know. I was trying to make it in baseball. And we would just go in and do our best. And I didn't know what I was doing. But I noticed, the harder I worked, the more success I had as far as getting stronger. My body started changing a little bit. Body fat started dropping. I didn't know how to eat. I didn't know how to train. I just worked really hard and went all the time, didn't miss. There was days I didn't want to go. There was days I was extremely sore because I didn't know, you're not supposed to kill yourself like that. But I never quit. And about a year into it, anybody knows if you're in the military, people come and go. So one of the guys left, one guy got out, and that was about a year into it. And I just never stopped. And that was 1985. Okay. So next year is 40 years for me. So I just want to say that as to say, just because you're struggling with something, it doesn't mean it can't work its way out. It's just that you got to know what you're doing to work it out, right? You can't just guess. And I had to learn and more and meet more people and get more educated as I went to have the success I had. And then I got into bodybuilding shows, and that was a whole nother level of knowledge that I had to obtain. So we're going to go through this, and this is going to just be about the process that you guys may be going through, and hopefully this will help you stay focused and keep going forward and until we get there. Okay. The first thing is you got to do your part. You got to do your part. And what I mean by that is, I'm going to read first. I'll kind of read a little bit, and then I'll go into detail a little more. When it comes to embarking on a fitness program, it's important to understand that success is largely dependent on your own diligence and dedication. Eating a well-balanced and nutritious diet, following a training regimen consistently, not skipping meals or workouts, and allowing your body proper rest and recovery time are all vital components to a successful fitness journey. While medical conditions can present a challenge, it's important to leave these matters in the hands of professionals while focusing on the aspects of your health and fitness journey that you do have control over. By staying disciplined, consistent, and committed, you can make the most of your fitness program and achieve results that you desire. And what I wrote this about, and I'll kind of wrap it up a little tighter. A lot of people have issues that are going to cause them to struggle with weight loss. They're going to have fluctuations in weight, water retention, sometimes injuries. They have fibromyalgia. There's autoimmune disease. There's pancreas. There's issues with thyroid. There's issues with pancreas. I've had clients that the pancreas secreting 5 times too much insulin. So when they would eat a meal, okay, now you're talking about a weight problem. Insulin is what basically puts a lot of weight on us. So controlling insulin levels is what I do when I'm writing your meal program, okay? Meal plans are about what's going on when you eat the food, not just reducing calories. I don't care how many calories you're eating if you're not using the food. And some of the foods that you're eating, even in low amounts, can still put a lot of weight on you, okay? So that's why when it says here, a well-balanced and nutritious diet, I don't really like necessarily using those words because that's not the end of it. It's really, it has to make sense for you. It could be nutritious and it could be well-balanced and you can still put on weight, okay? It's really about how many calories you burn. Okay, a lot of people think overeating is how much food you eat. It's not about how much food you eat. Because if you ate 8,000 calories a day, but you burn 8,500, you're going to lose weight. Good luck burning 8,500 calories, but you're going to lose weight. So it's really about how many calories you burn as opposed to how many calories you take in. And eating copious amounts of low calorie foods, high in protein, high in fibrous vegetables, and controlling the starches is the key to not retaining water in the fat cells, which we'll get into in a little bit. So remember, you got to do your part. I have a client, I still train her. Actually, I've been training her off and on now for, my Lord, she was 28 when we started and she's 52 now. When I first met her, she was working her butt off. She was getting ready to get married. And it just wasn't dropping. The weight was not coming off. And I said, look, let's do our part. Let's make sure we're training right. Let's make sure we're training hard. Let's make sure we're dieting right. Make sure our numbers are right. Make sure things are at least right on our end. Your doctors are going to have to do their part. They're going to have to figure out what's going on with you. So finally, I said, look, you got to go. After about 7 months of her not losing but 5 pounds, think about that, 7 months, she had only lost 5 pounds. And we did everything. Finally, the doctors, and I said, you got to figure this out. This is beyond what I can do. You got to take this to the medical world. Somebody's got to help us. We're doing our part. They need to do theirs. She finally found a doctor that figured out her thyroid was messed up. We got her on medication, and she lost 20 pounds in the next 4 months. So it was still a little bit, it wasn't as, I've had people lose 20 pounds in 12 weeks. Hers was still a little bit longer. However, we still got it to move, and she finally got down to her weight and the way she looked, and she got married. So we did make the wedding, but thank God we had enough time, right? So we have to do our part. Okay, I've had another client who was secreting too much insulin, and she was 277, 4'11", and we got her down to 145. But we figured out her calories and her food needed to be a certain way for her to lose that weight. The training is fine. Okay, because if I'm training you and you're doing what I say, I'm not worried about your training. And I know how to diet you, but sometimes it's beyond us. And that's when the doctors have to do their part. Depletion of glycogen stores. This is what I was getting into a little bit, but I stopped. So let me read this first, and then I'll get into it a little bit. Glycogen is a form of glucose that is stored in the liver and muscles in our body. When we consume carbohydrates, our body breaks them down into glucose, which is then taken up in the cells as fuel. Any excess glucose is first converted into glycogen and stored in the liver and muscles for future use. When we reduce our calorie intake or engage in physical activity, our bodies start to tap into these glycogen stores to meet its energy demands. Depleting these glycogen stores is important for weight loss because it forces our body to rely on stored fat for energy, which can result in a reduction of body fat. By doing so, we are essentially burning stored fat instead of consuming excess calories from food, leading to a successful weight gain. That last sentence, by doing so, we are essentially burning stored fat instead of consuming excess calories for energy. Excess calories is also another way of saying of excess energy. Okay. What they mean by that is this. And some of you, we've probably talked about this. Some of the videos that I have, you might have seen it already in some of the videos. The body is going to look for nutrients to fuel whatever it is you're doing. If you're working out, if you're getting up to go to work, whatever, to your day. Okay, the body is looking for fuel to fuel this, your day. Either it's going to use the food you take in, or it's going to use stored energy that's already in the cells, this glycogen. Carbohydrates create glycogen stores in the muscle. So when you eat too many starchy, they don't say starchy here, but starchy like potatoes, rice, pasta, oatmeal, cream of wheat, grits, those kind of carbs are what break down into sugars and get stored as energy. We have to use the stored energy in order to lose weight because the fat cells are holding on to this glycogen. The more glycogen you use, the body releases water from your cells because glycogen, what it's not really saying here, it makes you hold water inside the cells. So you want to deplete in bodybuilding. You see these crazy pictures behind me. We have to get all our glycogen stores basically depleted in order for our body fat to be low. Because the lower you have, the lower glycogen in the muscle, the lower your body fat percentage. Because your fat cells shrink. Okay. So when you're eating foods, that's the only reason. Like a lot of people, there's guys out there. There's a company called V Shred, which bugs the daylights out of me because he tells people you can eat donuts, you can do this. I do this, and these guys like 30 years old. He's a fitness guy. You can't. Yeah, you're not a 42, 47, 53-year-old woman who's in perimenopause or menopause and not burning calories and doesn't have a lot of muscle to help. Okay, you have to have muscle to burn calories, and if you're not lifting weights, which is why I make everyone lift weights, you're depending on your natural body to do it. And as we get older, the body doesn't do it as well because your hormones drop and so on and so forth. So lifting weights creates muscle building. Muscle building creates the energy, the body, because the muscles need calories. The muscles are always looking for food. Okay, and the first place it's going to go, if we're not pulling food in, is the stored energy. However, after a while, the body goes, wait a minute, you're not eating. So now I'm going to go after it. I'm going to just start using muscle. So you can't outsmart the body for too long. In bodybuilding, we have a lot of tricks up our sleeves to get the body fat down to 3 and 4%, but it don't last that long. We're only that way for a short period of time. And then our weight's going to come right back up because we can't live with body fat that low. It's not healthy. The importance of core temperature. Okay, this is something that most people don't hear about or talk about, so I'm going to talk about it now. Increasing your core temperature can lead to weight loss through a process known as thermogenesis. Now, you'll see that if you look at some of the fat-burning pills, like I know Bailey and a few of you guys use Skull and whatever. Hydroxycut, I was with Muscle Tech for years. Hydroxycut was great, had ephedrine in it. It worked great back in the day. Now they have ephedra, whatever. But anyway, they're called thermogenics. When your core temperature is raised, your body goes into a state of thermogenesis, which causes an increase in metabolic rate. This increase in metabolic rate allows your body to burn more energy, calories, glycogen, even while at rest. Some of you guys hear me talk about heating the body up. I've told probably 3 or 4 people today, this week, that I want them to wear long sleeve shirts when they exercise, when they work out, when they do cardio, to keep the core temperature up. Additionally, thermogenesis can increase the breakdown of stored fat in your body, which can lead to weight loss. I'll give you an analogy about that here in a second. Additionally, raising your core temperature through exercise or other means can increase your heart rate, causing you to burn even more calories. However, it is important to note that prolonged exposure to high temperatures can be dangerous, and any weight loss benefit should be balanced with proper hydration and rest. So drinking a bunch of water is basically what they're saying. Even though your core temperature is up, you still can't be up for long. There was actually a drug that you could take that will eat up your body fat just like that. Only problem is it can get so hot that it can actually cause your insides can melt. And they found it in a mine, and they found these dead corpses in the mine, but the muscle was left, but no fat was on the person's body. They were inhaling this stuff. I forget what it's called. But when you take it, your body gets so hot that it's dangerously hot. But you don't have to worry about that because you're not doing any of that. Working out's not going to do that, and fat burners aren't going to get you that hot. So what they're basically saying is this. When you heat up your body, just like, I'll give you an example. If you ever had a steak, and it was a fatty steak, or 80-20, ground beef, and you put the burgers on the grill, it'll start out this big. When it's done, it's this big, right? Starts out big, ends up small. The fatter the steak, the more it shrinks. And you notice also as the meat is heating up, juice starts to drip out of the steak into the flames, and the flames will get kind of big. The fatter the steak, the more flames you have. The leaner the steak, the less, and it shrinks the least. Okay, that's what's going on inside of our bodies. So when we heat our bodies up naturally through exercise, the foods that we eat, because some foods heat you up as well. Yams do that. Some of the carbs that I recommend, some of the carbs I try to get you to eat also assist in that. Vegetables assist in that. So when you're working out and you're doing cardio and you're keeping your body hot, inside your body, those fat cells, that muscle heats up, those fat cells start to drip water out and you pee out the water. That's weight loss. All weight loss is water retention being held inside the cells, sometimes outside the cells, unfortunately. And that's when you call edema. When you know someone that's been in a hospital and they're real puffy, and you touch them and you see almost your fingerprint inside in their skin, that's water, guys. And now that's water that's not just in the fat cells, it's starting to come out. And I was an ICU medic in the Air Force. I did ICU nursing, surgical ICU, medical ICU. We had people who had edema so bad that when you pushed it, the water came out of their skin and it would actually fill around your finger. That's how bad. That's called weeping edema. So we're trying to heat up our bodies so that the fat cells get hot and they start dripping the water out, and then we pee it out. And that's what weight loss is. And that's why any of you that notices I'm peeing more, you're going to also start noticing the scale go down. Okay, you don't lose weight from bowel movements. You only lose weight because this process happens, because water retention is so much more than people give it credit. The muscle, your muscle alone is 90% water. Okay, 90%. So that's what I'm trying to do with you guys with the exercise and keeping the body hot, and if it's a caffeine stack or if it's a fat burner, whatever it is, we're trying to heat the body up so this process of thermogenesis is happening. Now we're going to get into the mindset part. I notice you guys who are doing the program, your first 4 videos, some of you guys are doing my free 30-day trial. That has my first 4 videos all about mindset. There's a whole lot of other videos, past that. And those videos get into more training mindset, nutritional mindset, and then strength and stability. The strength, how to get stronger, how to get better at the way you think, how to get better at your training, how to get better at nutrition. And then the last portion is how to maintain it throughout a lifetime. Okay, stability. Patience is a virtue. When it comes to weight loss, it's important to remember that patience is the key. We often gain weight over a long period of time, and it's not realistic to expect to lose it all in a short amount of time. To achieve sustainable weight loss results, it's essential to have patience and persistence. While crash diets and extreme exercise regimens might provide rapid initial results, they are generally not sustainable and can even be harmful to your health. Instead, It's important to adopt healthy habits that can be maintained over time. With the consistent effort, determination, and patience, we can achieve our weight loss goals in a healthy and manageable way. Uh, People that are in my program notice I actually almost don't get rid of all my 3 month programs. I have 6 month and 12 month. And the reason is I can't create a scenario where your body is going to be consistently burning calories and drill it in and make it a habit in 3 months. It takes longer than that. And like it says here, quick weight loss is just quick weight gain. You're just going to gain it back quick because most people gain their weight back because they lost it the wrong way. You can't expect to lose weight in correct 40 years of being out of shape, 30 years of being out of shape in 6 months. You just can't do it. It doesn't work that way, okay? I think it's a fair trade if you're out of shape for 30 years or you've always been. Some people have had high body fat their whole lives. Some people, starting at 20, whatever. Why do people expect to change the way their bodies operate in 6 months to a year when they've been doing another thing for 20, 15, 20, and 30 years? It makes absolutely no sense. And they do programs that aren't sustainable. They do programs that after about 12 weeks, they can't do it no more. I've seen trainer programs where they have no, can't do this, can't do that. No, can't. Nobody's going to do anything when they can't. They're not going to do it. You ask any one of my clients, I find something that they actually can do. Okay. We agree on it, and then you have to do it. So for you guys right now in the program, what I'm giving you, we agree to. And then you have to actually do it. You have to actually do it. And over time, some of you are going to see quick results. Some of you are going to see slow results. Some of you are going to see no results because something else is going on. Keep doing what you're supposed to do. Eventually, it's going to break. I had another guy. This is a guy. Okay. His training partner, he had two training partners. One guy was 60 years old, great shape, didn't really need to lose weight. I have a couple of clients like that right now. Monica doesn't need to lose weight. Jen doesn't really need to. Well, Jen's going to do a show, so she does. But when you don't need to lose weight, you just got to build muscle. And that muscle that you build is going to take away the excess body fat that you don't need. But most of you need to actually lose some weight because your body fat is too high. Okay. So I don't even want you to think of it as I'm losing weight. Think of it as I'm losing body fat. But a percent of body fat weighs about 2.2, 2.3 pounds. So the scale's going to go down as your body fat goes down. But we're also building muscle at the same time. So as you guys know, muscle is more dense. Remember this, muscle and fat, a pound of muscle does weigh the same as a pound of fat. It's just that a pound of muscle is much smaller because it's more dense. So you got to have patience. This guy lost 5 pounds in the first, I think, 4 to 5 weeks. His training partner lost 13 pounds in the first 2 weeks. Okay. So he's watching this guy trim down, guy's six-pack is coming in. He's not really changing much. However, I told him, look, are you hot? Are you peeing more? Are your inches going down? Are your clothes fitting better? So he would look at me, and you can tell he was staying in it mentally. And I was very proud of him because I know it was hard. But he would go, well, the scale's not moving, but the inches are. The scale's not moving, but I'm peeing. The scale's not moving, but I'm hot. And I was like, stay on it. Stay committed. Stay committed. I can't really change anything. Something's happening. It's not always the scale. All of a sudden, I think after 5 weeks, he started losing. By 8 to 10 weeks, he had lost 20 pounds. So I don't know. Sometimes your body is going to fight me. Sometimes it's going to fight. We have to stick to it, be patient, work the process, work the program, don't quit, don't miss meals, don't miss workouts, get your cardio in. Eventually, the body's going to have no choice but to listen. And then sometimes, like I say, we'll need help from doctors because sometimes you might be a thyroid issue, so we got to figure that out. or it could be a pancreatic issue, or it could be something, okay? Beyond the scale. You like these cool names? I came up with them. Okay, not really. Chat GPT help me. But I put it in there. I told them what I wanted. While the scale is often seen as the go-to method for assessing the success of a weight loss program, there are other important indicators to consider. For example, losing inches, we just talked about this, around your waist and thighs is a good sign that your body is losing fat, even if the scale may not show a change. In addition, if you notice that your core temperature has increased or that you are urinating more frequently, these can be signs that your metabolism is increasing and your body is burning more calories. Finally, feeling more energized, I left that one out, is also an important indicator of success, as it means that your body is receiving the nutrients it needs to function at its best. Therefore, relying solely on the scale can be misleading. And it's important to pay attention to other signals that your body is giving you when evaluating the effectiveness of a weight loss program. So also, I forgot about that. Your energy levels also are a sign for me. That's why when we talk, I'm always asking you guys, how you feeling? Are you peeing more? Are you hot? Are you this? Are you that? All those questions are telling me, do I need to change the diet? Do I need to add cardio? Do I need to add reps? Do I need to, what do I need to do to get what I'm looking for, to get the results of hot, peeing more, energy? These are the things that we're looking for. Okay, so I hope you learned something. I'm trying to keep it short and sweet. There's 26 minutes. In summary, in this lesson, we learned about weight loss process and how to achieve our goals. The key takeaways were to stick to a program by not missing meals and workouts, getting enough rest, and depleting glycogen stores to release water from the cells. We also learned about the importance of increasing our core temperature to trigger fat store release and being patient, as weight loss does not happen overnight. Lastly, we discussed how not to obsess over the scale, as there are many factors that can affect weight, and other indicators like inches, frequent urination, and increased energy can show that you are making progress. All right, so if you have any questions, which I'm sure you do, please don't hesitate to hit me up in the app, send me a message, say, hey, I saw the video. I want all of you to look at this video, okay? And keep this video. Make sure that you can watch this, because when you're having a tough time, when the scale's not moving, you're frustrated, these are the things that people don't even know. They don't realize this is going on. So that's why I'm doing these videos, so you guys have a source. You can go look and remind, oh, yeah, that's right, he did say that. Oh, that's right, this happens. I'm not the only one that's going through this. Okay, there's a lot of people going through the same thing you're going through, but they don't know what to do. They don't know where to go from there. They don't understand food. They just work out more and more and more. You can't outwork a diet that's prepared incorrectly. There ain't enough workouts in the world. 80% of people that go to gyms don't change. 80%. 90% of people that lose weight regain it. And I tell them, it's only because you're losing it the wrong way. You're not actually changing your lifestyle. You're just doing a diet. I actually had a woman recently, started and stopped instantly. And I was like, no, here's your money back. I don't want to work with somebody who's a quitter, because you can't quit in this. You can't. You have to be a person that finishes things. And when it comes to this program, the finish line is the casket. That's the finish line. I will work out until I die. Okay. This isn't like something I decided to do. And I'm gonna stop when the people used to ask me, so when you get older, are you gonna stop? I'm like, why would I spend my entire life in shape and then go to a place I know no one's happy? I never had a client come to me because they were elated in the situation they were in. They wanted change. But sometimes people tell me they want change, but they don't want to change. And I go, how am I supposed to do that? You want change, but you don't want to change. How is that supposed to happen? You have to change. And the biggest thing that people have to change before anything, and that's why that first pillar, the science of mindset, the reason that that's the first one is because if you have a strong mind, you can do anything I ask you to do. But with a weak mind, you can't diet. It is impossible to diet if you have a weak mind. If you're a quitter, you can't diet. You can work out, but you're going to quit all of it at some point. You're not going to be consistent. You're going to have excuses. You're going to find excuses. I've had people say, this is an excuse, Idris. This is a reason. I'm like, no, it's not. That's an excuse too. You don't need a lot of time. I'm busy. So get on the floor, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, jog in place in your office. Eat, drink a protein shake, get back to work. You don't need a lot of time to eat. 5 minutes. You just got to actually take the time to eat it. Remember to eat it. I've worked in every capacity in my life. I've been a prison guard. I've been inside sales, outside sales, personal training in a gym for years. I've done it all, and I've always got my meals in. I always worked out. No matter what I was doing, I always found a way to do it because it meant everything to me to continue to do this. So if you guys can get your mindset that this is going to make me, and it does, it makes you very, very happy when you look and feel the way you want to. If that's really, really important to you, keep the right mindset. Don't quit. You're already in the program with me right now, so you already took the first step. You already took a step. Let's continue that process and get to the final destination. We'll get there together. Don't worry about that. You guys have a great day. I have to go to get a tooth pulled at the dentist. They're going to put me to sleep. So I'm hungry right now, and I'm waiting for my son to come take me. And you guys have a great day. I hope, and remember this, my slogan for everything, make today an amazing day because you never know how many days we have, okay? We're not guaranteed tomorrow, so make sure you're having a wonderful time today. You take care.